Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am reviewing the MAC Pro Longwear Waterproof Foundation. Now, as y'all know, this totally came out at the beginning of summer, I believe, and I never got around to buying it because one of the main ingredients in it, I believe, I'm not sure at the top of my head, but I remember I saw an ingredient in it and I was kind of like, I'm not even going to try it because it's going to make me break out. But I believe it has caffeine in it, and that was one of the issues for my skin personally because my skin tends to react funny to caffeine. That being said, I never got around to reviewing this foundation because of that, but I did end up going to Nordstrom and picking up a little sample just so I could check it out and see whether or not I would buy it or recommend it for people. A lot of y'all have been asking me. I know I got a comment like yesterday about it, and before that, this all summer, I felt like people were questioning me about it and I had no idea what to tell y'all because I never actually got around to using it because I got the sample and it kind of just sat there until today because of that comment yesterday. I was kind of like, okay, I'm gonna do it tomorrow, seeing as my face is breaking out. Y'all can see the coverage, y'all can see how it blends into the skin. This foundation is oil-free. It does claim to last 24 hours on the skin. It's supposed to be sweat and water resistant and repellent, which means if it were to start raining, your foundation would still stay on your face. And honestly, that's a lot to claim. I'm not 100% sure how much I believe in the statements that MAC has on their official website, but I think that after putting it on, and y'all see, I think that it could definitely survive water just because of how it sticks to the skin. It's almost like you're putting on glue on your face. It's weird. But this foundation is relatively affordable. It's $33 and I believe it comes in an assortment of shades. I did pick up the NC25 just because I felt like MAC tends to oxidize and I didn't want to oxidize orange like my other MAC Pro Longwear foundation where I am an NC30, but I put it on, I look great, and then, you know, a couple hours later I'm like orange and not my skin tone. So I did get NC25. I will say that it does run slightly light. I felt like it was way too light for me, but we'll see once it oxidizes how it blends into my skin. That being said, I'm just gonna go ahead and dive into the demo and let y'all see for yourselves the struggles and the pros and cons to the application. It's kind of cray, but yeah guys, stay tuned. Okay guys, so as y'all know, I'm reviewing the MAC Pro Longwear Waterproof Foundation. That being said, I'm gonna be using a beauty blender and I'm also gonna be using a buffing brush to kind of show y'all different ways that you can apply this foundation and what the finishes are or how it layers. So because it is a sample, it's literally very limited. The person at Nordstrom did not give me a lot of product. It was kind of like, really? And like they were trying to tell me that it should only be used for concealer, and I was kind of like, then why did they brand it as a foundation? But like, alright Nordstrom, let me do me, and next time give me more, because it's literally like, it literally looks like I've already used it all, and I'm just kind of like, as y'all can see, I'm totally breaking out right now. I have no idea what I ate, but I had some sort of allergic reaction to it, and I'm still kind of coping with that. I feel like every time I decide I'm gonna film a foundation review, my skin is just like breaking out and it's horrible. But I mean, in this case, because it is such a full coverage waterproof foundation, I guess it's good because y'all get to see how much it fully covers up as well as myself. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my finger, put some foundation on it, and kind of just spread that on my cheeks like so. And I'm gonna go ahead and put some on the other side. Now I'm gonna go ahead and go in with the beauty blender and I'm just gonna blend this side out. I feel like I have to like dab it really roughly to really spread the product. This product does not spread out by itself. It's very, very thick in consistency. I can feel it on my skin. I feel like I'm kind of like having to pull and tug to spread it and give it an even coverage. So that's one coat of foundation, guys, blended out with the beauty blender. And I will say that it didn't really cover everything up. I can definitely see some of my acne peeking through, and I can still see some of my dark spots like popping through. I don't know if it looks good on camera, but in person, I just have a lot of dark spot. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to layer it. And again, this foundation is just like, it's so hard to blend out with the beauty blender. Like, I don't know what's going on. Okay guys, so this side has completely been layered on with the beauty blender, and I have to say that I did not like the finish. I don't like how it layered up. It was extremely hard to blend into the skin with the beauty blender, which is like ridiculous because for the most part that never usually happens. Normally with the beauty blender you can just spread out a foundation. In this case it looks okay. The beauty blender gave it a natural finish on my skin. However, I can still see a lot of my dark spots peeking through. With the other side, as y'all can see, I still have a lot of blemishes. I've been breaking out. I'm gonna go ahead and try to blend that out with my brush, and again it's kind of like I'm having to like pull and tug. Okay guys, I've layered on one layer on the side with the brush, and for the most part it looks way better than the side with the beauty blender. However, I still have a lot of blemishes peeking through, and I feel like this is one of those foundations that might actually look better with your fingers. Okay, I actually took the brush and dipped it into the foundation jar, and I'm gonna go ahead and again just buff that in. Now I'm going to go ahead and go in with the beauty blender because I feel like it's not blending into my skin the way I would like. Okay guys, so putting on the foundation has honestly been the most difficult process I have ever gone through in the entire time I've been filming for YouTube. Like, obviously this happens off camera all the time, but in this case I'm kind of just like amazed by how, and not in a good way, by how difficult it was to blend out this foundation to give me a nice canvas. I'm sure if you have perfect skin, this would just be amazing, but for me personally, because I have such troubled skin and I do suffer from acne, especially right now because I'm breaking out, I got it to work out, but I feel like I put in too much effort to make it blend and make it look pretty. Does that make sense, guys? Like, I just have a lot of blemishes right here peeking through. So I'm just gonna go ahead and finish the rest of my makeup and I'll be right back. Hey guys, so I finished applying the rest of my makeup, and I have to say guys, I am not in love with the coverage of this foundation whatsoever, especially the way it applied. I just felt like it was too much effort for it not to be full coverage, but at the same time, if it can last 24 hours, I think that I can survive, you know? But I'm gonna go ahead and just not talk about how I really feel until the end of this video, and let's see how this foundation lasts throughout the day. It is now 1:09 and y'all probably don't even see that. And I'll be back in the next couple of hours to check back in with y'all, so stay tuned guys. Hey guys, it's now 6:59 p.m. in the afternoon. It's been about 6 hours since I initially put on the foundation, and I haven't checked back in with y'all because I was going around town and I was eating and going to the mall and stuff, so I haven't been home since then. For the most part, the foundation's holding up really well, except in my T-zone, but for a satin finish foundation, it's holding up really well. Though initially it did have more of a matte finish than it did satin, but I did kind of see the finish of the foundation kind of looking slightly satiny, but not really until now. Looking at my skin now, the only part that's extremely oily is like my nose, but because I do have oily skin, that's generally really typical of a foundation to do that. As far as how well the foundation has held up, I am starting to see some of my blemishes peeking through down here on my jawline. The one thing that I did notice aside from my oily T-zone is that my eyelids, I did put foundation on my eyelids and then I went over with a eyeshadow on my crease just to kind of give dimension to my eye. I will say that for some reason that part is like extremely oily, which generally doesn't happen when I use another foundation such as the Estee Lauder Double Wear, etc. But I just thought that was kind of weird. It's just like really oily in my crease on my eye. I'm not sure if it's because I didn't set it with anything in terms of like setting powder before I put the eyeshadow on top, but something weird's going on there. As far as my oily T-zone, I'm sure if I just powder my nose, everything will be okay. I haven't blotted or touched up all day, so after 6 to 7 hours, that's kind of normal. So that basically fixed the problem as far as the oiliness. However, as far as how well the foundation is holding up, like I said, I do have some blemishes peeking through, but it's not the end of the day yet, so I will be back later to check back in with y'all. I have to go run errands in another town, so I'll be back later. Stay tuned, guys. Hey guys, it's now 11:27. It's been about 10.5 hours since I initially put on this foundation. I have to say, for the most part, this foundation held up pretty well as far as oil controlling. I am slightly dewy in my T-zone, but it's not, I wouldn't even say oily. It's more of like a satin dewy look, but it doesn't look bad. The only part that does look bad is like the tip of my nose. It's just extremely oily. After 10 hours of wear, I feel like I need to take off this foundation, and it feels too heavy. It feels almost greasy, but it doesn't look greasy or feel greasy like when I touch it. However, it feels greasy on my face. Like, I need to wash it off. As far as it being waterproof, I don't know right now because I'm gonna have to wash it off after this, but I will say that in the past when I did try it on, because I've only worn this foundation once before, it was a hassle to take off. Like, I had to do my makeup remover twice and then wash my face twice before it all came off. As far as the formula, I don't feel like this formula irritated my skin. I feel fine. Normally with the MAC foundation, I know immediately whether or not I'm gonna break out. I start to get whiteheads in the middle of the day. I will say that my mascara was kind of smudging underneath my eyes. I have no idea what was going on there. I kept having to wipe it and stuff. Again, my eyelids are super oily for whatever reason this foundation is causing it to do so. For the most part, if you have perfect skin, I think this foundation will work well with you. However, for me, because I do have acne scars, I'm not in love with this foundation. I felt like it didn't cover up what I wanted it to cover up. I felt like this foundation was just too much of a hassle to put on. I felt like I had to keep blending and blending and blending in order to make it not look splotchy. As far as 24 hours, I wouldn't say I could wear this foundation 24 hours. I think I could wear it 24 hours and look good, but I don't think it would feel good. If you have dry skin, I would not recommend this foundation at all, just because I feel like I have oily skin and I had to tug to put on the foundation for it to not look splotchy. So I can only imagine how bad it would be if you have dry skin and trying to put this without it making your skin flake. Other than that, I think this is a great addition to the MAC foundation formulas. I think that it is a nice foundation if you have combo perfect skin, basically. However, would I personally go out and purchase this? Probably not. I'd go ahead and skip it. To be honest, the whole tugging and having to really blend in the foundation, like all that effort really turned me off from this foundation. So yeah guys, like I'm sorry, but this was just a no-go. I would not purchase this. I don't necessarily recommend it. I wouldn't be like to a friend, go get this foundation. This is one of those foundations where I would definitely skip. That being said, if you want to see more videos from me personally, make sure to subscribe to my channel. If you watched this video all the way to the very end, let me know what your favorite winter foundation is and what kind of coverage you look for in a foundation, and what your favorite brand of cosmetics is. If you like this video, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. So yeah guys, DGAFpanda out. I feel like I'm not wearing makeup, I'm not doing my hair, and I feel like it's not who I am. Guys, like y'all don't understand, like I love my makeup, I love my hair, and